Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, Venus Williams has dominated the sports of tennis. Now, to this day, she remains the most decorated female tennis player to compete at the Olympic Games. Now, a lot of people don't know, however, is that for the past decade, Williams has been in a battle with her own body. Now, she recently opened up about her struggle with Sjorgen'S syndrome, an autoimmune disease that affects about 4 million people in the USA. And I am one of them also. Now, for Venus, she said started in 2004. She experienced symptoms like fatigue, shortness of breath. No matter how hard I worked, I was exhausted, shortness of breath, and never felt in shape. It was really frustrating. She said my symptoms got progressively worse to the point where I couldn't play professional tennis anymore. Now, 7 years went by before Williams received a diagnosis of Sjorgen'S syndrome, an autoimmune disease that identified by two of its most common symptoms, dry eye and dry mouth. Now, unfortunately, that's typical of people with autoimmune disease. They're misdiagnosed or too sick to function. I literally had professional tennis taken away from me before I got the right diagnosis. So you can imagine it was definitely affected my game. Williams would go to her doctor presenting symptoms only for a doctor to find nothing medically wrong with her. I felt out of control, she says. Now, just like other rheumatic diseases, Sjorgen'S syndrome can take several years to diagnose because dryness and other symptoms are common and can present subtly. Now, typical symptoms are fatigue, dry mouth or eyes, although those with Sjorgen'S may experience muscle aches, joint pain, inflammation of major organs. Yeah, that's me. All of the above. Now, often symptoms such as fatigue or muscle ache starts to affect daily life, and that's when a patient seeks help. Now, once diagnosed with Sjorgen'S, you'll have it for life. But depending on the course of the disease, Dr. Paula Marchetta, president of the American College of Rheumatology, says that most patients with Sjorgen'S live normal lives. They mainly just have to deal with uncomfortable symptoms like dryness of the eyes and mouth, as well as achiness and fatigue. Yes. Now, the tennis champ was relieved to finally know what was happening with her body, but she was disheartened to learn that treating the disease wouldn't be a quick fix. Williams pulled out of the 2011 U.S. Open when disease-related fatigue became too much to bear, and she was booted out of the 100 tennis players for the first time since 1996. Instead, she took time to focus on her health. Now, she said, in the beginning, I just had to wait to get better. One of the medications I had took 6 months to set in. There was another that took 1 to 3 months. It was kind of a waiting game until you can go back to what you've been doing. Now, though chronic illness like Sjorgen'S cannot be cured, it can be treated with medication. Now, Dr. Marchetti says that Sjorgen'S syndrome treatment is directed at the patient's specific set of symptoms. You can control a dry eyiness with drops, ointments, or an anti-inflammatory drug prescribed by an ophthalmologist. There's also medication to stimulate saliva. Before I was on medication, the quality of life wasn't as good because I was extremely uncomfortable. Reflecting on those years before a diagnosis, just being alive was very uncomfortable. I was exhausted to the point that I was just always uncomfortable or in pain. Now, along with treatment, Williams sought to improve her recovery by adopting a vegan diet, which she still follows today. Now, lifestyle changes like exercise, healthy diet, good sleeping habits can help someone with autoimmune disease feel better. Now, Williams' breakfast usually includes smoothies and fruit. as she's not a huge eater in the morning, but it gets her through practice until she has a lunch and dinner filled with protein, carbs, and veggies. If it's leading up to a big match or it's dinner, I'll eat a little heavier. And occasionally, I have some fun with sweets too. I'm only human. Now, she says, after some time off in 2011, Williams entered into the 2012 season ranked at number 134, but ended the season at number 24. Strong comeback for a tennis pro. She finished top 50 in 2013 and 2014 and earned a place back in the top 20 in 2015. 2 years later, at 37, an age when most players hang their rackets, Williams reached 2 Grand Slam finals and became number 5 in the world. You grow with the wins and the losses. You get wiser and stronger. It's exciting to be able to play as long as you can because you're able to build this wealth of knowledge that you can use, Williams says of her tennis career. I love every single moment of the learning. Some of those moments are painful, but you still learn. Now today, Williams continues to play the sport she loves as she manages her Sjorgen'S syndrome. There are times when things are better and times when they're not as good. That's when you have to listen to your body and understand that, she says. Life has changed a little bit, but it doesn't mean that you can't achieve the same things. You just have to be smarter. Now, one thing she wants people with this autoimmune disease to know, they aren't alone. She says, don't be discouraged because you're going through this. It's similar to other people, she says. Talk to those people who understand you or have a similar condition. Reach out and build a support team. Don't isolate yourself. Don't give up. Now, there's a ton of resources for those with Sjorgen'S syndrome and other rheumatic diseases, like simpletask.org, sponsored by the American College of Rheumatology. It has a lot of info about rheumatic diseases like Sjorgen'S, as well as ways for patients with these illnesses to get involved with advocacy around diseases. Dr. Marchetti says you can also find support groups. Yes, well, I can say everything that Venus experienced, I did too. I tell you. And, it's like her. Before I got diagnosed, it was like, what is happening? Something is wrong. And the doctor's telling you, can't find anything wrong. And I had 2 whammies. They got diagnosed back to back. Fibromyalgia and Sjorgen'S syndrome. So that was a double whammy for me. But hey, I'm managing it and I'm still here. I'm still here. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And as always in party, be blessed, y'all.